everybody, welcome back to LDRS Creative. We're in studio tonight for another round of live craft class. Yay! If Alan ever gets the sound effects back up again, we'll be able to have some applause. Hello to everybody who's coming in. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I see Sandy Yee. Oh, Sandy Yee is here. My mouth isn't working. Welcome, Sandy. Annette is here from Goodyear, Arizona. Becca is in from Ohio. Diana is in from Pennsylvania. Glenda McLean is in from Louisiana. I can't. This is telling you how this night's going to go. She's in from Louisville, Kentucky. Hello to Cindy Patty in Central Florida. Brenda is here from Arizona. Linda Higgins is here, and I think you're in California. Jenny G says, Angie, I loved your class this past Saturday. I learned so many tips on beautiful Copic coloring. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hello to Beverly Rude from Florida. Jean Hemming is here. Hello, and Dieta is coming in, and so is Elsie Carter. Hello, hello. Brenda Sawyer's here from South Carolina. Hi, Myrna. She's coming in from Orlando. B is here. It says she says, good evening, Angie and Alan from Wellesley, Ontario, Canada. Yay! All right, we're going to get rolling. So I have no idea how this is going to turn out tonight, just so you know. Oh, Lori. Lori's coming in from Cartersville, Georgia. We have more people coming in. Brenda Tashel from Lexington, Kentucky. Deanna says, I think you need this, Angie. Yes, I think I do. I think I do. Absolutely. It's a glass of wine, Alan. All right, so I have no idea how this is going to go. So I came into the studio earlier, and I kind of started messing around with some watercolors and stuff, and I thought, I'm not sure I want to do watercolor. I have to be in the mood. When I craft, I have to be in the mood for something. And what's funny is as I was picking things, I realized everything I was picking was the same color as my sweater. So that goes to show you what kind of mood I'm in today. Same mood when I picked out my sweater this morning. It's the same kind of mood that I'm in apparently for crafting. So anyway, we're going to be working with a press and foil plate, but we're going to be doing some foiling with it. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. And my hair's falling in my face. And what else are we going to do? We're going to do some stenciling. We're going to have some fun. I think this is going to be a fairly simple card and something that you can craft along and do with me if you want. If you want to do that, you're going to need to have, I better start this. You're going to need to have, we're going to do some hot foiling with it instead of letterpress. And then you just need some inks and some brushes, and we're going to be, so if you have this kit already, and if you don't have the kit and you're waiting to see how we do tonight, then you can still grab the kit and you can make your own, and you can watch this back later. Sharon Gullickson says, I love the effect of stenciling. Hello, Sharon. I do too. I think it's really fun. And it's always a win-win. Like I was saying, I was thinking I was going to watercolor, but I just wasn't up for it today. Like I said, I have to be in the mood. I didn't feel like doing Copic coloring. I wanted something that was just going to be like something I don't have to think too much about. So that's what we're going to do, and that's what's perfect about stenciling too. So we're going to go overhead, and we're going to get started. Okay, so let me grab all of these, and I have to put my glasses on, of course. So I did grab not only the bundle, which I have right here. So this is the Perfect Petals bundle. It has the press and foil plates, the coordinating dies to cut each of those out, as well as layering stencils for coloring. So with this one, we actually have two separate flowers, and these are very much like roses. They're two separate flowers, two separate dies, and there's one stencil for each flower. Okay, so I think you're gonna be amazed when you see just how easy this is to work with, to craft with. I also decided to pull in, and let me zoom in a little bit. We're a little far away. Thank you. I don't know if you guys remember these, and I haven't worked with them in a while, and I thought it would be a lot of fun to do so. These are also press and foil plates. We've got Just a Note, Thank You, and Thinking of You. They're separate. Here's what the fonts actually look like. You can see them on the back, how gorgeous that font is. So versatile. I really think these are fantastic staples to have in your collection because it kind of keeps you covered. You can use these for just about anything. And then I also decided to pull in the pinpoint rectangles. And I think I'm going to use the largest of the rectangles. So we're going to see how this goes. I am, like I said, going to do some foiling. So I'm going to leave this here now. Just so you know, for those of you that love letterpress, all of our press and foil plates can be used with your to letterpress, with your better press or other. If you're somebody who is not into letterpress, or you don't feel like letterpressing, like tonight I don't feel like letterpressing, you can actually hot foil with every single one of our press and foil plates. So, like I was saying, if you're not interested, or want to get into letterpress, these are just use them as foil plates, okay? They work for both, either or, however it is you want to do it, okay? Carol says, I love my Creative Garden Party postage stencil. Awesome. I'm so happy to see that you got that. It's such a beautiful one for spring and summer. It's absolutely gorgeous. Let's see. I also pulled these in. So I've got my glimmer heating up next to me here. And you can't see it. It's like right there. Okay. So we're going to, Brenda says, I am seeing so many great projects with press plates. It's definitely on my list, but she says, I do have a hot foil machine. So yeah, even if you don't want to get into letterpress, and I understand a lot of people don't, and that's fine. Just use them as hot foil plates. They're absolutely stunning. That's what we're going to do tonight. So I pulled these in, and I thought, I'm going to kind of go, I'm thinking of doing this kind of brown here. I don't know if you can see my colors here. So this one is, I don't know if there's a color on this thing or not. I have like a whole bunch of these things. It says silver, pewter, copper, and polished brass. I'm guessing, I don't know, I think it's pewter. That must be what that is pewter. Don't we have pewter, our handles and stuff in the kitchen are pewter, aren't they?
Maybe that's the color we
Because this says silver. This pewter does not look like pewter. This has a brown look to it. Let me pull it out of here and see. Yeah, this has a brown look to it, and I think they're calling it pewter, but it's not actually pewter. Because the hardware that we have around our house, like in our kitchen and stuff, is pewter, and this has more of a brown look to it. But anyway, whatever.
Is that short for computer?
Yeah, it's short. It's exactly, Alan. It's short for computer. You're so funny. Okay, so my glimmer is heating up, so we're gonna let that kind of do its thing. I'm gonna go ahead. I think I'm just gonna use the largest flower here. Alrighty. So Brenda says this will be great to see. Then since you're going to hot foil, it's perfect, 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 perfect. And I only need the one piece of paper. So this is still heating up. It does take a moment. I should have hit the button like a little bit sooner. Sharon says, my couch from Pottery Barn is called pewter and it's more brown than silver. Yeah, but the thing is it's actually technically more of a gray. Because we have, like I said, we have pewter hardware and it's more of a gray. But whatever. I don't know. Maybe there's different varieties of it. The one that we have, what we have is different. So, never mind. Let's see. And I think I'm going to use my Thinking of You. That's what I'm going to do. What?
Thinking of me or thinking of you?
All right. So I'm going to use Thinking of You. And I'm thinking... All right, thinking. I'm thinking. Let's see. I got to trim this. I always hate starting these things because I always know I'm going to cut something wrong and it just drives me nuts. Get that little bit of tape off of there. Boop. There we go. Here, Mr. Hunt. That's for you. Let's see. Replying to Kara says, I bought mine on HSN. I think it's still there. Oh, yes, you're talking about the garden postage collage. Is absolutely. I do think they still have some, which is really nice on HSN. HSN.com, and then you go to, I don't know what I'm doing here. You go to, you just search for LDRS Creative. And let's see, I think I only have to go yay high. So let's see, this is going to go like here. I'm just going to trim this off. This is the only time I ever use these scissors. I don't know why, but I save them for this. These are Tim Holtz scissors. I have such a hard time cutting foil. You have to have really fantastic scissors, and these are Tim Holtz scissors by Tonic, and it's the only thing I do with these scissors is cut my foil because I don't want to mess up any of it. They cut so beautifully. Okay, so let's see here, Mr. Hunt. Is this gonna, can you do me a favor? I have to be able to bring this over, and the cord is not allowing me to do so. So if you can help me out a bit here. Okay, good. So my little light has gone green, so that's good. Now you can see here on my glimmer that I put little dots here. I put a dot there, and I put dots there, all right? And I also put one here so that I know where the center is, and then I put dots going in this direction too. So this is like if I want to lay, because it drives me nuts that there's no real measurements or anything to mark where an A2 card would go. So this would lay here, or this would lay here. So I marked them just with my paper because it drives me bonkers. So I know that this is where my A2 cardstock is going to go. And I just did that with a pen. So I'm just going to kind of play here. Now, my, I have to do this kind of the opposite, I think, because I want this to be on the right side. So my paper is going to go this way, and then it's going to go this way, right? So I have to do this kind of the opposite of how I want them. And I don't want to burn myself, so I'm going to be careful here. And I also need to leave a little bit of space on the side here for, because I'm going to be cutting it. I'm thinking ahead here. I'm going to be cutting it with this die right here, which is going to give me about a 1/16 of an inch, I think, edge around the sides. So I might move this over a little bit more. If some of this has to be trimmed off, I think that's okay. I'm just going to angle this a little bit. I don't know if this is going to work. I really hope it does. If some of that ends up getting cut off or going off to the edge, I'm not really worried about it. Let me move this a tiny little bit. Just a wee bit. Okay, we're going to try that. I'm going to hit the timer button. Do, 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 because that has to now heat up on there. Once that heats up, Mr. Hunt, you're going to have to put this through that machine when I hand it to you. So now this has to heat up. It's heating up those plates. And then this goes down, the foil goes down once this light is solid again. And you want to put the color side or the shiny side down. Okay? So just give me a moment here. Unfortunately, I am very impatient. We're just going to deal with it. We is just gonna deal with it. Let me get another one of these. I think. Okay. Do 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 do. There we go. Light turn green. So I just need to lay this down over the top, just like so. Now I can see where my little dots are still, all right? So I'm going to put my paper on, and I want to make sure I put it right side up. I'm going to lay this down where my little dots are, approximately. And then this is going to go on top. So I have the green and I have the clear. That goes on top. Slide this out. And then make sure nobody gets burned. Hand that to Alan. Oh. And And then he's going to run that through. Now that goes through your die cutting machine. So that's going now through the platinum, and we're hoping nothing moved after I handed it to him. Crossing my fingers.
Before you handed it to me.
I know. We'll see. We'll see how we did. So I'm going to get these off of here. Let's put those over there. Oh, it looks good. It looks good. I always I panic when I go like this and I see it and I go, oh my God, did I put those on in the wrong direction? I'm just going to peek. Ooh, it's looking stunning. You know, I could actually just leave it like that. Gorgeous. That stuff I can actually just erase off of there, but once I die cut it, I may not even have to deal with it. And then this you can save, and you can run this through on another piece of paper actually, and do the reverse of it. I wonder how that would work. I'm not going to do it right now, but I'm going to set that aside over there. And then Mr. Hunt, I'm going to take these to cool. I'm going to put my glimmer back, and let's go ahead and turn this off because I think I'm all done with this. And then these two pieces here, I'm going to set these aside to get them out of the way so we don't get those mixed up when we're die cutting. All right. So everything is cooling. Look how beautiful that is. So gorgeous. Where's my eraser? See, this is where I can just kind of erase that off of there if you get any of that overfoiling. See how easy that comes out off of there? This is a mono sand eraser for ink. You want the one for ink. I'm not even pressing hard. This is just very, very gentle, very light. Do it in a couple of directions if you need to, and just get any excess off of there. It's like over inking. Okay, so from here, ooh, look how pretty that is. Oh my gosh, that really is stunning. I'm gonna take a look now at, let me get this die out. I know, Mindy, aren't they? They're absolutely amazing. She said they're a lifesaver. They really are. Whenever there's a little boo-boo, I reach for it and see if it helps. All right, so this is the die, right? It's from my pinpoint rectangles. It's just slightly smaller than an A2. And I'm going to see where, how this would lay in here. So you have to remember the cut line goes all the way to the edge. So I think I would probably, yep, it's still going to work. It's not, it's going to put little marks over the sentiment, but that's okay. It's a little bit on an angle. Did you notice my sentiment is a little bit crooked? That's okay. I think it'll still be fine, but this is how it's going to frame out. It'll look really pretty, really nice. How did it? Yeah, that's going to drive me bonkers that it's crooked.
I have a question there from Brenda.
I have a question from Brenda. What type of paper are you using, and how do you know if it's the right side? That's a very good question. It's Neenah Classic Crest Solar White, 110-pound cover weight. It's a really good thick. Okay, how do I know it's the right side? It doesn't really have a right or wrong side of the paper. By that I mean when I trimmed it. Okay, because I start off with 8.5 by 11 sheets. When I trimmed it, when you trim with your paper trimmer or a guillotine, you're going to press the paper down, right? So you're cutting across or you're pressing the paper. You're going to end up potentially with some sort of an edge that kind of goes down. And so that's what I mean by it. You know, do I feel that little bit of an edge? And I can feel that it's kind of lifted up here. So I would do it in this direction so that the paper presses, where the paper's pressed down, it goes down. But you can use either side of the paper. But that's really what I mean by it. All right, it's just more of a finished edge. So if I wanted to leave it like this and not do any cutting with it, then I don't have any edges that are kind of, you know, where you can feel where that paper cut and press the edge up. Okay? So let's see. Where's my stencils? I have a stack of all kinds of stuff here. So I thought I would play a little bit. I haven't, you know, I never pull this thing out for you guys, but this is something I actually grab when I'm crafting. I grab this to see if I'm going to like my colors. And like I said, I started to kind of play. I don't know if you can see the color of my shirt here. It's actually kind of it looks like a Merlot almost, but kind of a little bit purpley too. But it's like a dark red violet. And so I thought, you know, what colors am I going to play with? And so I like to grab my color wheel when I'm working, just to see if my colors are going to work. Now, sometimes I'll pull colors from patterned papers, or you pull them from, you know, even from, you know, like clothing patterns. If you have a favorite dress, I mean, usually we're drawn to colors, right? When you buy something that's patterned, whether it's a blouse, a dress, or something like that, you buy it because you like the colors and the patterns, right? So we're drawn to colors. And so you can actually go to your closet and take a look at colors. But if you want to understand the way the color wheel works and why or how certain colors work together, this one is really good. I bought 2 of these. I just ordered them off of Amazon quite some time ago. I have 2 stations where I craft here in the studio, and I have one at each. So I'm going from the red violet here, and if you go, like you put it, like you would rotate this around, you look for this arrow, okay? And you put like whatever your main color is. If I want to know what's going to work nicely with reds, I put red in there. So I'm putting the red violet in here because that's what I pulled first, was my red violet, which is right here, and that's what we call Boysenberry Blast. Okay, so that's that color right there. And so we look at different combinations, or what are the different variations, whether it's a tint, a tone, a shade. Then we get into this one right here, okay, which is Fandango. And so that was a really good starting point for me, were those 2 colors right there. And then when I start looking at what are they going to work with, a perfect, you know, complement is going to be kind of a yellow-green, which I have pulled here, okay. And when we get into these greens, I've also got this darker one here, which is right here, right? So I've pulled my key lime pie and evergreen. But what's really nice too is I can also do a split complementary. I'm not going to pull yellows in. You guys have heard me talk about yellow so much. I do not like yellow. So very, very rarely will I pull yellow in, okay? But when I come over here to my greens, now I can also bring in like an olive green, which we call olive branch. All right. And then kind of playing from these colors a little bit, I then also decided that I was going to bring in a violet to kind of use as like maybe a darker shadow. And then I also went by way of this into kind of, you know, my reds are next to it, so I then went into a very, very light pink to kind of get started with it. I don't know if I'm going to like this color with it. We're going to see. But that's kind of how I work with that, and how I just kind of, it's almost like a little measure or a test to see if I've done a good job picking colors. Or if I'm not sure what I want to do, I start with something and see where I end up. All right, so hopefully that helps a little bit. So I've got my brushes here. All right. Yeah, it's, you know, I don't let it necessarily tell me what I'm going to do. So Myrna says, great tool, I like the way you use it. I use it kind of as a test and an aid, which is really, you know, I think a great way to do it. You know, it's not really the end-all be-all, but it definitely lets you know, if you're headed in a good direction. But I think a great starting point is, you know, how do I feel today? And that was the Boysenberry Blast. So that was kind of a starting point for me. So let me get my stencils out. And notice it says Stencil Layering Guide on the inside. And in here we've got 2 stencils. When you look at the stencil layering guide, so whenever it says stencil layering guide inside, you know you're going to pull that packaging insert out. This is a keeper. You want to keep these packaging inserts, okay? Hi Stephanie. Hi Elaine. So one stencil is going to be for one flower. So here's the 2 flowers that we have, right? Stencil 1 right here is going to color up this flower. Notice we left this one in the guide is still black and white, uncolored, okay? We deal with that one, so here's your flowers again. Stencil 2 is going to color up your second stencil. And we show you where the colors go in each of these. So light blue is going to go where the light blue is showing in here. The green, obviously, where the green is, and so on. And you can see on here where all the little guides are and all of the alignment guides and everything that we have on each of those stencils, right? So we're only going to use stencil 1 right now. And when I hold this up, you're going to see, let me get the light. You see how we have all of those alignment guides that I just pointed out to you? So we've divided up this stencil. Here's a section where we have the largest flower, okay? And then following that alignment guide on the inside, you're going to see what we're going to do with this section, the leaves, the stem, okay? And all of these little alignment guides, so the first one here doesn't have any alignment guides on it. But when we get to subsequent, let's see if I can catch the light. It's easy for me to see it here, but I have to catch the light for you guys. All right, see those lines right there? Those lines, those guides line up with what you just stenciled with this one, okay? So you want to pay attention to those. We do have numbers on these. I don't know if I can catch the light very well. It's so much easier to see in person. But it says like 1A, 1B, 1C is right here, all right, and so on. So you know the order that you're going to be coloring them as well. So this is 1A, and we tell you, we show them on here. It says 1A, 1B, 1C, 1D, 1E. That's the order that you're going to be. I can't lift that up because it's not going to stay in focus. But use this guide, all right? And we're also usually, you'll notice we go light to medium to dark. So it's 1A, B, and C, light, medium, dark, all right? So we really guide you with that. So I'm going to start off, let me grab a couple of my magnets here. And I'm actually not going to color it as simply as that. I wanted to play. So I'm going to see what I can do with this just a wee little bit here. Let's line this up. I think just a little bit lower. Sometimes you just have to move it a tiny little bit. There we go. You put these magnets down. Now I am, because I didn't stamp this straight, I do have some paper here that is exposed. So I'm going to cover that up with some of my tape just to make sure I don't accidentally get ink where I don't want it on my card, okay? And I'm going to start light. So I'm actually going to use, if you noticed, I had 3 colors for the green for the leaves, and we only showed 2 on the stencil. And I have 4 colors. Let me pull these down here. I actually have 4 colors for my flowers, okay? For my flower, all right? And on the stencil, we showed you 3. But that's like the basics. So I'm going to kind of take this up a notch, and we're going to see how this turns out. I like playing with this stuff. So I'm going to start with my lightest pink. And where is my, here it is. I always like to have my trusty messy little towel here. This is my blending towel, right? Let me just, I'm just rubbing it to make sure I get any excess ink off of there that, you know, could potentially be left over if I didn't do a good job cleaning before. And I'm going to go very gently with this pink. Very gently, because I want to use this as maybe like a highlight. So I'm doing the whole thing in that light pink. Okay? Just a wee bit. I'm going to clean that little bit off my stencil. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. I got some color where I didn't want it. Yep, it's light pink. You can see I got that tiny little bit right there. I'm going to let that dry, and then I will use my eraser. But I got that in that tiny little tip right there. Oopsie daisy. Girl wasn't paying attention. Let's see. So I'm lining up the second area. Okay. I am going to cover up that area there and this area right here. I don't want to get color in there. And I'm going to put a little bit right there as well. Hold my stencil in place. Just wherever you've got a spot where you can get color through that. So I'm going to go up to this brighter pink. I'm going to move these over a bit. All right. And now I'm going to give each of these a little bit of attention, kind of gently, actually. I'm going to tape an area here. I'm going to tape over some of this pink, just temporarily. And I'm just going to kind of play by bringing color in from the underside and up. Leaving those tips lighter. I'm kind of going across it, but I'm doing this really gently. I'm going to tape those two little tips right there because I want to leave those light. So you don't have to do this as intricately as this. I'm just playing. Okay, let's get the outside of this one. Bring that color kind of up the bottom and across it. There we go. That looks pretty. While we're still here, I'm going to go up to my next color, which is the boysenberry. And I'm just going to do a little bit less, just to darken it right at the sides. Creating some drama. And now I'm going to bring in some grape ape. I'm dabbing off a bit. And this is literally just going to be a tiny bit just to deepen and enrichen where those come together. Ah! These are actually not little brushes. The head on this brush it's about 1.5 inches. What I'm doing though is I'm not going in circles around. I'm scooping up like this. I'm going like this. It's kind of like a flick. All right, so let's see what that looks like. How's that look? I like it. All right, so I'm going to put this back because I still have those other little areas right there that I have to get. Put this back right here, just rotate it a little bit. All right, And now, this is the tape that I had down. I'm going to clean this up here a little bit. I'm going to put this tape here now and then cover up those little pink spots right there that I had. All right? Put this back where we were. And now I have these little bits here that I have to do the same thing with, right? So I'm going to start with Fandango, which is right here. And I'm going to kind of flick that toward me now, because the petal attaches to the flower on the top now. So I'm literally going like this, scooping. Get that color across it, but try and leave a little bit of the lighter color on those tips. Now we go up to Boysenberry. All right, dab off a little bit and scoop. It's just going to richen and brighten those edges. Okay. And now we go Grape Ape. Get some purple, dab some of that off, and just get a little bit right. I don't want to go too far across. I just want to get it really dark right up in those little bits right there where it touches. Okay. And I think we got them all. I'm going to leave those, I think I'm going to leave those pink. I'm going to see. I might come back and do them after, but we'll see. And so here we are at this point. Look how pretty. I love this stuff. I think it's so rockin' cool. Okay. So now, let me make sure that I don't have any ink anywhere on the bottom of this that's going to get in the way. And I'm going to position this. You know what? I'm going to put a piece of tape on the back here. It makes me a little nervous because I have pink there, and it's just in case. Because I didn't clean it with cleaner. I would normally clean that with cleaner before I laid it down on my white paper, so I'm just putting some blue behind it in case any ink goes through, and I don't want that to happen. So here we go. Just a little bit there. All right. I can pull this piece up, and then I can pull this piece up and tape right along here. All right. Now, I've already got tape underneath that, so I don't need to worry. I don't have any other areas where I have to worry about color going through the stencil. So we've already done our lightest color. Now we're going to go back to Fandango. Get my Fandango brush. And I'm going to start right here. And I'm literally scooping up. Okay? Because the petal is going like this, right? And I'm going to get the underside here where there's a little bit of shadow where it's not getting as much light. Scoop up, go across just a little bit so that I get the darkest bit here. That's where I press and I lift. Okay? I'm going to do that same thing with this one. Press and a lift. I'm going to be a little careful here. I don't want to hit the top of that one where I left it light. Okay, so press and lift. The top part of this petal here is where the sun is hitting it. That's where the light is coming down because it's reaching up to the sky. Okay, do that a little bit until you're happy with it. Now we're going to go out with this one. Kind of out and up. There we go. And then underneath this one here. Okay. So while I have everything taped, I'm going to finish this area here. So now I go up to the boysenberry. And just rich in that color in the center, at the bottom. And now my grape ape. So just deepen that a tiny little bit. Okay. Clean that. Put the lid on that because I don't want to mess up and go to put my brush in the wrong place, in the wrong ink. So now I go to boysenberry for this one to finish this petal here. So that just makes it a little bit darker. There we go. And then we go to grape ape. And just keep that right at the bottom. See how it just kind of makes that a little darker right there. Love it. So this is thinking not outside the box, outside the confines of your stencils. What more can you do with it? How deep can you go with the colors that you're using? Okay. Look how pretty that is. Gorgeous. Now, I am going to go back to this area right here. Because some of the areas are a little bit brighter, like too light in my opinion. What, Alan?
Let's see it.
Oh, see how some of the areas just have that one little coating on there? I'm going to fix that. Okay. So some of it I'm going to leave with those highlights. I'm perfectly fine with them. Others I'm not. So I'm just going to kind of tape off a tiny little bit here. And I'm going to come in. All right. This is Fandango. Just gently bring a little bit into here. All right. I'm actually going to do it on this one here too. Just a tiny little bit. Just to bring that around. There we go. Go over these a bit, just so they're not quite as light. All right. And then boysenberry. Get that little bit right there. There we go. And then what is left on my grape. There we go. So it just kind of softens some of those a little bit. Just a tiny little bit. My stencil is still there. I'm just going to soften where I just have that one layer of that really light pink. And this is my brush that has one of my, I think it has the, a little bit of the boysenberry on it. And it just kind of tones that down a tiny little bit. Okay, and then here we are. How's that look? You guys like it?
Excellent.
You still have that beautiful shine, that foil. Look at how gorgeous. So pretty.
Are you going to leave it like that?
Huh?
Are you going to leave it like that?
I'm going to leave the flower like that, yes.
Or
Andrea says, I have never seen a piece of your work, Angie, that isn't simply gorgeous beyond words. Oh, thank you so much. I was going to say, what do you mean you haven't seen what I've done? Like, you've been here before. I'm just playing. That's all it is. I'm just playing. Let's see. Okay, so we're done with the pinks. Now we're going to move pinks and purples and burgundies and all that good stuff. Now we're going to move to the green. I'm going to leave the tape there behind this one because I don't want to get, like I said, I haven't cleaned it. So I'm going to be very cautious here. So I'm going to line up for my leaves. I am going to get new tape because I don't want to mess anything up here. All right, so let's cover up here. I do have the stem right here that I'm going to cover with a little piece of tape just to make sure. I don't think I'm going to get anything up in there, so I'm not going to worry about that. How about we go like that to make sure I don't? Just make sure I don't go in anywhere in that direction. This is actually going to be in the way. Let's go like that. Okay? So first thing, now we've got 3 greens. So I'm going to start off with key lime, which is a very limey green. That's why it's called that. Okay? And this one I just want to kind of get full color over my leaves. All right. Now, with the leaf part of the stencil, we don't have like several different spots for shading and stuff because you don't really need it. So now I'm going to go from lime green to olive. And I'm going to come in from where it attaches and underneath and up. Okay? Leaving the top part a little bit lighter. What, Alan?
Did you have a quiz?
Oh, did I have a quiz? Oh, that's right. Alan is reminding me that we need to have a little giveaway. And I was thinking to myself, some of you might know how old I am. Some of you might not. So my quiz for a $10 gift certificate is first one to guess the year of my birth.
Oh.
What year was I born? Let's see if somebody can guess it. I'm sure somebody will get it.
Well,
All
yeah,
right.
it's only so many years.
Come on, everybody. Put something out there. What year was I born? Don't be shy. Please don't make me older than I am. Ooh, Myrna says 1969. Nope, the year I was born, though, not my age. But I love you, Linda. If you meant 1946, I'm not going to be happy. So let's see. Nope, I don't see it so far. Oh my gosh, you guys are wonderful. I love you all. Nope, some of you are close. I'm looking for it. I'm looking. The year of my birth. Gosh, you guys are so sweet. Ooh, some of you have me older than I am. You guys are really skating around it.
Yeah, man. Surprised nobody's.
Let's see. Ooh, whoa. Oh, Angela got it. Angela Dreyer, 1968. Angela got it. First one I said, yep. Okay, so yep, I was born in 1968, y'all. So, Angela, you have won the very first $10 gift certificate tonight. So please send an email to customer service at LDRScreative.com. Let me know that you guessed 1968. And for those of you that guessed 1940s, I am not happy with you.
Some people had early 50s.
I'm hoping you were guessing my age and not my year of birth.
Lynn said February, so she must have remembered something.
Yes, I was born in February. That is true. Okay, so look, so the last one I did was evergreen, by the way. Okay, so let's see.
What does that person do?
What does what person do?
Who won?
I already said she has to send an email to customer service at LDRScreative.com and let me know that she guessed 1968.
I wasn't listening.
You weren't listening. You weren't listening. Look how pretty that is.
That's nice.
Gorgeous. All right, so I'm going to go ahead here now. Oh, it makes me nervous. I'm going to put a teeny tiny little bit of tape over here. Where is it? This side, so it's like right here. Just to make sure. A little bit up there. I just don't want to get any ink anywhere. And now I'm just going to do the stem. So just lay that stem over. Okay. It goes right here. There, and I'm going to get the bottom here as well. And so for the stem, I'm just literally just going to go 2 shades of green. So I'm going to start with olive. Okay. So there's the olive. And then now with the evergreen. Darker in there. There we go. There we go.
Very good.
Okay, so I'm going to give this a very quick clean. And then you can also see on the stencil how, after you do a little bit of stenciling, now you can really see, what all the little lines look like, all the alignment guides and stuff look like on there. All right. So let me get these brushes out of the way. I have all of my inks closed up and out of the way so I don't make any mistakes there. Let me grab my tape, make sure I don't have ink on my fingers. Grab my eraser. See if I can fix this. Ooh, we got a stubborn stain. You know what might go there? A gem. Let me go in a different direction now. There we go. We're in business. All right. Love these things. Okay. Next up, Mr. Hunt, I need to do some die cutting. So let me get all my stuff here. Let me find my dies. Here's my card base. And we're going to get this die cut. Now, whenever I die cut a large, solid die like this, I always put it on an angle because you know what it's like when you go over a speed bump with, with both of your cards. And you guys have heard me say this before with both of your cards. With both of your tires, when you go straight over the speed bump and it's like boom, boom, right? But if you go on an angle and you go one tire, then the other tire, then the back tire, then the other one, it's not as bumpy a ride. Well, that's what we want. We want not as bumpy a ride.
Unless you have a back injury.
Oh, no, no. Even with a back injury, you want to go one tire at a time. You definitely want to go one tire at a time.
It'll pop you back and forth.
Just don't do it real fast. It's still better for you no matter what. Believe you me.
Good to know.
Yes. Okay, so I am going to give this a good tape down here. Also, when you're die cutting, only go in one direction. Do not go back. Don't run it through and then go backwards, because the pressure is going to move and shift things ever so slightly. And when you come back over it again, it's going to shift it again. And you could end up with all those extra little, slivers of paper when you wonder why your die cut like that. Well, that's why it's happening. All right, so we're going to go ahead, and Alan is going to die cut this for me. And I've got a card base here. I've got what's going to be my topper. Crossing my fingers that this worked. Notice I shifted it off to the left as much as I could, the die, because I wanted to save where the sentiment is. This is tape that I can save and use again, some of it that didn't get cut. I'm always very careful when I pull the tape off because I don't want to tear the paper. There we go. All right, will you please put that over there together?
Yeah.
Thank you. Nope, we're all done.
Oh, okay.
And look how pretty. So pretty. Now, I need to have, we're going to frame, so we need to cut to 5.5. And then 4.25, so it's an A2 size. And so now this topper should fit beautifully, and it does. So I'm going to put the topper down on my card base. Alright. So the topper is an A2. It's going to cover up the entire card base. My card base is the Neenah Classic Crest Solar White, 110 pound. It's my favorite. It's what I use for everything, just about everything. And now I am going to put some foam on the back of this. So let me get my scissors. Look at what I have left here. It's hilarious. Okay. So it's just going to give us a little bit of dimension, a little support in the middle. There we go. And we're going to pretend that my sentiment is perfectly straight. Make sure your card is opening in the right direction before you lay everything down. I'm going to look up into the camera and make sure that I've got this centered right. And it looks pretty good. I could go over that with a little bit of, what is it called? Like paint spatter if I wanted. I can also go in. I used, you know what, maybe I'll do, I'm thinking, like, do I want to use the gold? And I don't know if I want to use gold. I think it's going to be kind of harsh if I use gold. So let's see what it'll look like if I use any of these. Smaller ones. Whew, that's large. What?
I like the way it is.
I know, but I
kind of need something to fill in there a little bit.
I know it needs something. So I'm just kind of,
It's not terrible.
mm, I don't know if I like these. I don't like these. I don't like them.
Same like me.
I think what I would like, to be honest with you, is some paint spattering. That's what I think I would like to do, but I don't have, so I think I'm going to leave it. You know what oh, you know what would be pretty?
What?
Is some of my texturizits.
Oh, yeah.
Doing some texturizit on here would be really beautiful. I just don't have it handy. But we could leave it like this. It's very simple, very elegant, a little crooked. We're going to go like this so nobody knows it's crooked. There you go. See, this is another trick. Like when you're photographing your pictures, your cards, do not try and photograph your cards perfectly straight like this. First of all, it's going to get skewed. Okay, there's always, if you're not looking, if your camera is not straight on there, it's going to be skewed. Go like that. Now nobody knows if something isn't perfectly straight. All right.
Okay.
I am kind of thinking, like, I wish I had like some little glittery something. Do I have a little glitter pen or something? You know what I have is this. I have this. I need something. It feels like it just needs some little bit of shine. That gives it, I don't know if you guys can even see that. See that little bit of shine?
I think you should leave it alone.
What?
I don't want you to hate yourself.
I don't think I'm going to hate myself. I think I'm going to put a little bit of glitter in here. Just a little. It doesn't change the color. It just gives it a little bit of shine when the light hits it just right. Let's see. Put a little bit over here. Let's see how we did. See it? Isn't that pretty? What? Why are you laughing? Why are you laughing?
I'm just laughing.
What's so funny? I think it's pretty.
You bedazzled it.
I did. I bedazzled it. You're so funny.
You ready?
Oh, Connie said pretty as is. Thank you. Oh, you mean the card? Yes, thank you.
She said that before you put the bedazzle.
I know, nobody's even looking at me. It's
You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. All right. Oh, this hair is falling in my face. Oh, well.
Nobody cares.
Yeah, nobody cares. Nobody cares what I look at. Here, let's just put that in front of my face.
There you go.
There you go. Isn't that better?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Everybody, thank you so much for being here. I really did enjoy doing that. I hope you guys enjoyed kind of seeing, like, you know, how you can take the stencils to the next level just by bringing in more colors. Even if your stencil is designed to only do 3 layers or 2 layers, even like the leaves, you can take it to the next level by bringing more colors in and layering and building up those colors, more than one color in an area on a stencil. So have fun with it. Try different color combinations. Pick up one of the, pick up a color wheel, or even just look at a color wheel online. You don't even have to buy one. You can find them all over the internet. Take a look at those and see if you can kind of expand what you're doing with your colors too. And I'm going to try and remember to bring that in more too, because I think that kind of helps explain what I'm doing with the colors. So I'm going to try and bring that in more often. So everybody have a fantastic evening. Have a wonderful weekend. And as far as I know, we're going to be back here same time, same place next Thursday. Why are you looking at me like that? Aren't we?
When are we flying out?
Oh, we fly out on the 3rd. Is that Thursday?
I don't know.
It may not be.
The 3rd is Thursday.
All right, we will not be here next week because we're actually flying out to. I'm doing an event in California next week, and it's the Cat's Meow Stamp Escape. So we're going to be doing that in California. So we will not be here next Thursday, but we should be here, I think, the following Thursday, right?
Yes.
Well, yes, yeah, we'll be here the next weekend, or next week. So have a fantastic evening. Have a wonderful weekend, and we will see you next time.